Well, welcome back to Tandem Radio Live. This is your host, Glenn DeLakian. Excited to be talking about healthy lifestyle for business, because bottom line is health is wealth, and I know God intended us to be healthy in so many different ways. And we're here with health, lifestyle, and fitness professional Michelle Perrone, who has an office in New York City and has been helping people for a number of years now with their lifestyle and their health. So, Michelle, we're excited to have you here today. Let's get back to what we were talking about, a few different items. So, you learned from this Biblical Health Institute that God had the answers for you on health, right? So, what do you get out of the Bible as far as direction? Obviously, Scripture, Genesis 1:29 starts us all off, right? Talking about what to eat and all. What other insights can you gain from the Bible relative to your health?
Well, it's definitely to just feed your body with all of the resources that He gave us.
Mm-hmm.
He gives us fruits and vegetables, nuts and seeds, and everything that He gives us will make us thrive and help us live longer.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just to enjoy life and to take time for yourselves. And it's so important in your job or whatever you do, just to take time for yourself, whether it's 15 minutes, half an hour, and just for you, because it calms you down and it just helps you go throughout your days.
Well, let's talk about that for a second. What do you see as the biggest mistake business owners are making relative to their health these days?
Business owners, they're on so much sugar. And not only business owners, but everybody. I've just found that so many people are addicted to sugar. For example, with their coffee, they're putting tons of sugar into their coffee. I know I did. I used to put 4 tablespoons of sugar. So, I mean, when you do that, your sugar level goes so high that you lose your energy. And you lose, it goes up and down. Right. And it's supposed to be in balance. So definitely, if you lower your sugar intake and hopefully even eliminate it, then you're going to feel so much better and you're going to have so much more productivity.
Now, it's funny because you mentioned a couple things there. But let's talk about sugar for a second, because obviously sugar can be a killer. I mean, diabetes is out of control like never before. I could be wrong on this. I'm not the professional, and maybe you don't even know, but I had heard one time that diabetes was not even a disease prior to the 1900s till we started processing sugar and all those things. So it's interesting how that came about, it seems, from so much processing of sugar and so much sugar in diets. But let's talk about sugar substitutes for a second. And I don't know much about them other than, you hear about Splenda, stevia, this one, that one. You have any insights on that for people? I mean, which one, do you reach for the pink one, or do you reach for the yellow one, or do you reach for the blue one? What do you think?
Stay away from all of them. Stay away from all of them. Pink, blue, yellow, purple, whatever it is. It's not from cane sugar. It's not real. God did not give us equal. And stevia, stevia, yes. But, I mean, all of these pink equals, and it has so many chemicals.
Right.
And it's like putting poison into our bodies. That's the way I see it.
So, are you better off with the sugar substitute or with the sugar?
Well, there's something called, and I just said it before, stevia.
Right.
Stevia is a good substitute for sugar, and it's all natural, and it's very, very sweet, so you don't need a lot. You just need a little. You can have the powdered form or liquid form, and you just put it into your coffee or when you bake, and it's really good. And another thing that is my favorite is honey.
Oh, okay.
And honey I use it to sweeten my teas, or if somebody is still on coffee and they're not ready to give it up, instead of putting sugar, I have them put honey.
Now, with honey, is there a lot of people allergic to honey?
Sometimes.
Because I know I know of a number of people that are they can't eat honey. I get a funny taste, not taste, but kind of, I don't know, almost like some kind of little reaction when I eat honey. It's kind of weird, but it's almost an acquired taste. But do you see a lot of people using honey in general, or no?
Well, everybody is different, and everybody has their bio-individuality, and that's what I teach, is for, if something doesn't work for you, then just don't do it, and always listen to your body, because your body knows. And if your body is telling you that it doesn't like honey, then don't have it. If your body is telling you that it doesn't like a vegetable, then don't have that particular vegetable, because your body knows.
Okay. Well, you mentioned bio-individuality. I thought that was interesting. God calls us members, all members of one body, right? But we're all unique. I think he makes that very clear in Scripture that we all have our own giftings and our own uniqueness. We're going to talk about that more in a few. But bioindividuality, let's talk more about that. Tell me what specifically that is.
Well, everybody is different, and everybody has their own needs. So your body might be different from my body, and, I
hope so.
well, our needs of our body.
I understand.
And I'm a vegetarian, so I don't do well with meats and sometimes dairy.
Mm-hmm.
So for you, or maybe you like raw food, and raw food, you thrive with raw food.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's body is different, so it's so important just to really examine what makes your body feel the way it does, and what gives you the energy, and what helps you throughout the day, and just what makes you feel better.
So it's okay that my wife's vegetarian and I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
It's funny because it's interesting you say that, because for years my wife and I often tried to diet together. So she would find a diet and say, hey, let's stick to this. We're going to eat all this together, and I'll make the foods and all that stuff. So we eat the same things. And it would work for her and not for me. Excuse me. But then there are times that I found that it really, the same diet that worked for me did not work for her, and vice versa. So let's speak to that a little bit. Tell me about people's diets and the individuality. How do they figure out what's right for them?
Well, the most important thing, like I said, is just to really, really pay attention to your body. And also to, there's something called the blood type diet.
Mm.
And it's feeding your body according to your blood type. So if somebody is a blood type O, then they would eat differently from a blood type A.
Okay.
So it's very, very interesting.
So tell us more about it. I mean, how does somebody know what works for their body? When you meet with a client, how do you know what diet's right for them?
Well, I take them through an extensive health history,
Mm-hmm.
and I have them fill out everything about their history of how they ate in the past and how they're eating now, and just everything that I need to know about them, and
Mm-hmm.
then I kind of analyze it, and then I figure out what is good for their body and what's not. But it's a lot of questions, and they pretty much know.
Now, do you create a specific diet for each person?
Everybody is a custom diet.
Okay. And is that something you create? You guide them? You say, hey, look, you should be eating this and not eating that type of thing?
I don't like to say you can't eat that. I don't want to be like a food Nazi. I don't want to say you can't eat that. But it's more of crowding out.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put a lot of vegetables into your diet and a lot of fruits, then you're going to crowd out all of the things that don't work for you, like the sugar and the carbs. Some people are really good on dairy. Some people are not good on dairy,
Mm-hmm.
or with gluten.
So basically, each individual person comes to you. Now, you mentioned before about balance, and there's more than just diet to this, obviously, right? So tell us more of the lifestyle aspect of what you're talking to people about. It's not just diet, right?
No, it's not just diet. It's all about balance, and if you're in the right career, or if you're not in the right career like I was in the corporate field and it just wasn't working for me, then I didn't want to be healthy. I just was so stressed out, so all I could think about was putting the comfort foods, like the ice cream or the bagels, and it just didn't sit well with me, and it didn't help my body. So everything has to be in balance. Your relationships, if you're in the right relationship, then you're going to be happy, and you're going to want to feed your body with the proper nutrients, and of course spirituality.
Mm-hmm.
If you have God in your life, and He's just helping you through life, and it just helps with your diet also.
Now, you mentioned before you're able to minister to people through lifestyle training, right?
Yes, and minister through food.
Minister through food. And how does that work for you? I mean, when you sit with someone for the first time and you want to help them with their balance and their diet, do you say, hey, look, let's start with the Bible? I mean, where do you go with that?
I take them gradually,
Mm-hmm.
and I take them to all different steps. But I think the main thing is what I like to do is just feed your body with all of the vegetables and fruit, because I think that's really important,
Mm-hmm.
and just to get your body just the nutrients that it's lacking.